SCP-3897 is a mother's eye upon you. I have no idea what this is about, but it sounds creepy, like something's always watching you, and y'all know how that feeling is. Anyway, we're gonna react to it, guys. This one is by the Rubber. Make sure to subscribe to him. Subscribe to me if you like reaction videos, and let's get into this one.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Of course.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. For a moment, I thought my mind was playing tricks on me. Thought I was experiencing oxygen deprivation in my brain or something.
What?
God, I wish that was the case.
Oxygen deprivation?
When I spent the weekend with some friends at a cabin in the woods that was supposedly haunted,
oh
I was the only one who wasn't frightened in the slightest.
Why would you do that,
I even went so far as to purposely scare them from time to time.
Of course.
It was all harmless fun. So where the hell did that thing come from? How was it possible? What the hell could it even be? These questions ran through my mind as I hid beneath my sleeping bag while observing a truly horrifying sight. From the windows came extremely grotesque, barnacle-encrusted tentacles with decayed human hands at the tips. I watched as these tentacled hands floated over to the heads of each of my friends and spread their palms wide open. From the center of each hand, a fleshy spike made of bone shot out and pierced their skulls. None of them could even manage a yelp. At the very least, I hoped they didn't feel any pain since they were asleep when it happened. The hands then grasped my friends' heads as the tentacles floated quietly back out the windows from where they came. After a few terrifying minutes, thinking those sinewy tentacles would come back, I decided in my shock-ridden brain to go outside. Probably the stupidest thing I've ever done in my life. From the deck of the cabin, I watched my friends' bodies being pulled to a gargantuan floating mass far in the sky.
What in the world is
the mass? Human appendages, skin, organs, bones, you name it. And my friends were apparently going to be added to the collection. My knees gave out and I fell backwards to the ground. I couldn't do anything but stare at that crime against nature. Can't believe after 2 decades and a little more, I'm working for some organization that's responsible for keeping all these weird stuff in check. And to top it all off, getting put in charge of my childhood nightmare. Hello everybody, I'm the Rubber. Today, we bring you SCP Foundation Keter Class Object SCP-3897. SCP-3897, also known as Mother's Eye is Upon You, is a colossal mass of fused human corpses with an estimated weight of 500,000 pounds. By some unknown method, this gross amalgamation of corpses is able to float and travel at around 40 miles per hour. Despite possessing the ability to travel, it appears to only stay within the realm of 9,000 feet above the Earth's surface. Jutting out from the central mass are countless numbers of tentacle-esque appendages, covered in sea barnacles and something resembling hands for grabbing. These tentacles are used to quickly ensnare their prey, humans, and add them to the central mass. It is believed by the Foundation that 3897 possesses a certain level of sentience, as it only targets humans that fill a certain criteria, namely individuals who are in a state of deep mental and emotional anguish. During the hunt, 3897 will usually capture its targets when they are sleeping. Why it targets individuals in this way is completely unknown. However, it should be noted that 3897 will only target individuals living in generally secluded areas. Curiously enough, from time to time, 3897 will eject items or objects from its own fleshy mass. So far, it has mostly ejected decaying fish, and thousands of linked molted shells of a variety of arachnids and insects. But the most disturbing were several living human fetuses with their umbilical cords fused together.
That's nasty.
Tissues from the central mass have been taken, as 3897 will not demanifest if approached in a non-threatening manner. How it is able to exit and enter our reality is still baffling Foundation researchers.
So it goes
the
in
tissues,
and out of our reality.
However, are composed of human flesh, seawater, and unknown genetic materials. As a defense mechanism, 3897 will emit from its assortment of mouths and maws a gas that is similar to mustard gas in nature and human blood. It will use this mist to teleport itself anywhere it desires, instead of fading into nothingness. The oddest thing about 3897 is that it is constantly emitting radio waves despite not having any mechanical parts that could do so. Most of the transcribed radio transmissions were of people talking in a variety of known and unknown languages.
Strange.
Where 3897 is seen, SCP-3889 is sure to be present some 15 miles away from it.
Okay.
SCP-3889 is
It's
an
an
elderly
elderly
fisherman
fisherman?
who resides in numerous places alongside the eastern coast of the United States.
This is so bizarre.
Every time 3889 goes fishing, he reels in various oddities from the water.
Oh.
Unfortunately, his catches usually result in casualties. For instance, 3889 once retrieved an entity that resembled a human corpse in its advanced state of decomposition,
Oh, okay.
with tentacles emerging
So
from
this
the
fishing
entity's
guy
back and neck.
pulls up.
It was
other
immediately
anomalies.
engaged by
It-
patrolling Foundation naval assets. By lashing the vessels with its limbs and tentacles, the entity inflicted significant damage upon the fleet. The conflict resulted in the loss of 107 Foundation lives. When apprehended by Agent Danielle Torres, 3889 shook his head and let out a sigh. You can't bottle a squall, son,
What?
he said and vanished. Every single
This is so
damn
strange,
time.
man.
I'm just about done with this old man. And that's what she would say every time. Torres approached 3889 one day. He was sitting with his legs dangling over a pier and his
Right.
fishing pole next to him. He noticed her and waved to acknowledge her presence. Hey there, young lady. Quite the lovely evening we've got going on here, eh? How beautiful the sea looks with the sun perched right above it like that. Coming back to capture me again? Agent Torres shook her head dejectedly. Well then, Miss Torres, take a load off. Come sit with me and enjoy the sunset. She approached 3889 and sat next to him.
Okay.
In the distance, 3897 was hovering above a town behind them. A team of Foundation personnel was engaging in intercepting the objects ejected from the
look,
entity.
He's all,
And there she goes,
sounds
spewing
nasty.
her guts out again. Hate to be the rest of my team right now. Picking up those disgusting discharge can be unpleasant, to say the least. They sat together,
Picking
admiring
up
the sunset for a
discharge
while.
Sounds horrible.
I have questions.
It's gross.
Well, I don't figure a pretty young lady like you would simply hang around an old man like me for fun.
Right.
Shoot. Are you aware that those creatures you reel in kill lots of people? 3889 put his fishing rod aside and lit up a cigarette. He took a deep drag and said, Of course I know, but trust me when I say that I wish it didn't have to be that way. I do my best, you know? I try to
Why
reel
do you
them in
fish?
where there ain't a lot of folks, minimize the death and destruction.
Why
See?
did you even do
Then
it?
why continue doing it?
Right.
You know all too well your next catch might be another disaster, yet you do it anyway. It makes no sense to me. Because I know you and the boys back home can handle it. Tell me,
What?
Torres, haven't you folks managed to put down every single creature I've reeled in? Well, yes, but you
Well, do
could have
it,
just
like,
avoided
work
bringing
for the
them here all
Foundation.
together in the first place.
Right.
Also, what's with that giant floating mountain of flesh
Work
that
with the
appears
Foundation
whenever you
and pull them
indulge in your
and
hobby?
Contain them immediately.
3889 looked towards the sun
In controlled
and
areas,
grinned.
you know.
Yeah, that thing ain't like me much, I guess. The catches are getting worse, and now she's watching me. Look, 3889 took another drag and motioned his head towards 3897. They looked at the floating entity, and the entity's massive eye looked back at them. Agent Torres shivered and quickly averted her gaze. I've seen this thing when I was a kid. Saw it abducting my friends during a sleepover.
Right.
Its frickin' eye and everything scarred me for life. Hell, even now, though I'm in charge of leading a team to investigate this flying flesh ball, I'm glad that someone like you is related to that thing. At least I don't have to deal with it directly. You know, all those monsters and creatures that I pulled out of the water can create a bit of trouble. Those are the babies. Someone
The
has to slay
babies?
them, and that's your job. My job is to find them. See? Don't get me wrong. Them monsters scare the living hell out of me, but I can't give up any
I
more
wouldn't
than you
fish if that was
can.
how
What
I
do you
felt.
mean? Who do you work for? No, it's nothing like that. It ain't about getting paid, see? It ain't a clever man or someone who's in it for the glory. I do it because I care about human lives, and these ugly bastards from who knows where stand against that. Then if we're gonna work together, you should just come with me. When Torres
Yes.
turned to look at
And now it's gone.
3889, he was already gone.
That's what I was saying.
Frustrated, she got up
She should
and
work
kicked his
with him.
fishing gear into the water. Damn it, not again. She looked back towards the floating entity. Its
Don't-
eye was
don't.
darting around as if looking for its next victim to be snatched away. Responsibility, huh? Agent Torres stood up and called her team. All right, I can't keep running away from it forever. Team, what's your status? I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Remember to...
Strange, man. This is so weird. The eye thing was just bizarre, but the fishing SCP is actually very, very interesting. The fact that this guy can just fish up like anomalies and stuff. That's pretty cool. Anyway, this wasn't my favorite one, but it was interesting. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. This was The Rubber. Make sure to subscribe to him. Subscribe to me if you like reaction videos too. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off. We'll see you next time.